Goji berries, acai bowls, spirulina powder. You've been told your health is for sale, that the secret to vitality is expensive and complicated. That is a lie. Today, we expose the myths. We are going to ignore the marketing hype and focus on three powerhouse foods backed by decades of serious research that you can find in any grocery store. Over the next hour, I'll reveal why these three common foods outperform the trendy superfoods every single time, based on nutrients availability, scientific proof, and pure value. Our journey into the truth begins by dismantling the biggest myth of all. The myth is that a single exotic ingredient holds the key to a long and active life. That, for a high price, you can have a miracle shipped to your door in a fancy pouch. This story is everywhere. Powders that cost more per ounce than a premium cut of steak. Juices that promise to detoxify your body with ingredients you can barely pronounce. It's a masterful sales pitch because it taps into a deep human desire. The desire to feel good, to stay sharp, and to keep moving. But what if the entire premise is flawed? What if the most powerful tools for healthy aging aren't for sale in a specialty shop, but are waiting for you in the produce aisle? Much of the superfood industry is built on a foundation of weak science and powerful marketing. A small study on isolated cells in a lab dish is spun into a grand promise for human health. The longevity of people in a small mountain village is credited to a single marketable berry, while ignoring the 100 other lifestyle factors, community, daily movement, lack of pollution that are truly at play. This creates a cycle of hope and disappointment. You spend your money on a green powder that tastes like a freshly mowed lawn, force it down for a month, and feel precisely the same. So you chase the next trend, hoping this one will finally be the answer. It's an exhausting and expensive game, but it's a game you don't have to play. The real foundation of healthy aging isn't a secret, it's hiding in plain sight. It is built on consistency, not complexity. It is about nutrient density, not exotic origins. And most importantly, it's about what the science says works in thousands of real people over many years, not just in a test tube. If you believe in getting straight, evidence-based advice without a sales pitch attached, make sure you're subscribed. We cut through this kind of noise every single week to bring you what actually works. So, let's pull back the curtain on our first imposter. Walk into any trendy cafe and you'll see it, the acai bowl. A deep purple blend, promising a flood of antioxidants. The story is compelling, a mystical fruit from the Amazon rainforest. But what if there was a more effective, more affordable hero that's been sitting in the freezer aisle all along? Let's talk about blueberries. Simple, common, delicious blueberries. They don't have a sexy backstory from a distant land, but they have something better, an incredible body of scientific proof. Their power comes from compounds called anthocyanins. These are the natural pigments that give blueberries their deep blue and purple color. Think of anthocyanins as your brain's elite security team. Your brain is an incredibly active organ, and all that activity creates metabolic byproducts, a kind of internal exhaust called oxidative stress. Over decades, this relentless stress can contribute to the slowing of our cognitive abilities. So why are the anthocyanins in blueberries so special? Their molecular structure is small enough to cross the highly protective blood-brain barrier. They get past the gatekeepers and go to work right where it matters most, helping to neutralize that oxidative stress and cool down inflammation within the brain itself. This isn't just a theory. A landmark study published in the Annals of Neurology followed over 16,000 older adults for years. The findings were stunning. Those who ate the most berries, especially blueberries, showed a significantly slower rate of cognitive decline. The researchers calculated this difference was equivalent to delaying brain aging by as much as 2.5 years. Can a scoop of expensive powder promise that with the same level of evidence? The research continues to build. Other studies have linked regular blueberry consumption to tangible improvements in memory and what scientists call executive function, your brain's ability to plan, focus, and juggle tasks. So the question isn't just about antioxidants, it's about results. Why pay a premium for acai when a simple handful of blueberries offers these proven benefits for your mind? And here's the best part. Making them a part of your daily routine is almost effortless. Let's bust another myth right now. The idea that fresh is always superior. When it comes to blueberries, frozen is your greatest ally. The berries are flash frozen at their absolute peak of ripeness, which perfectly locks in those precious anthocyanins. They are available all year, they are consistently more affordable than fresh, and you never have to worry about finding a moldy container in the back of your fridge. You get all the nutritional power with none of the waste. So how do you put this into practice tomorrow morning? Aim for about a cup a day. This is just a target, not a rigid rule. The simplest way is to add a handful of frozen blueberries directly to your morning oatmeal. As the oatmeal cooks, they'll thaw and release their juices, creating a naturally sweet sauce. Another option is to toss them into a blender with plain yogurt for a simple 2-minute smoothie. Or, my personal favorite, stir them directly into a bowl of cottage cheese or Greek yogurt. The combination of high-quality protein and the brain-protecting power of the berries creates an incredible start to your day. No recipe required. The first step in our real food revolution is this. Ditch the exotic berry trend and start a daily habit of simple, effective blueberries. Your brain will thank you. But what about the engine that powers everything, our heart? There's another superfood myth we need to expose there, and its replacement is just as straightforward. Walk down the health food aisle and you'll see them, bags of tiny seeds with big prices. Chia seeds, hemp hearts, flax seeds. They are marketed as the ultimate source of healthy fats, a modern miracle for heart health. And while these seeds certainly aren't bad for you, their celebrity status has completely overshadowed a classic, more potent, and more thoroughly researched powerhouse for your entire cardiovascular system. A food that has been studied for decades in huge clinical trials involving thousands of people, not just in small preliminary experiments. We're talking about walnuts, the common wrinkly nut that almost poetically resembles a tiny brain. But its most profound benefits may be for your heart. So what makes walnuts so special? While most nuts contain healthy fats, walnuts are uniquely rich in a specific type of polyunsaturated fat, an omega-3 fatty acid known as alpha-linolenic acid or ALA. This is a critical point. ALA is an essential fatty acid, meaning our bodies cannot produce it on their own. We must get it from the food we eat. It serves as a building block for other beneficial omega-3s and plays a vital role in controlling inflammation throughout the body. We now understand that chronic, low-grade inflammation is a key driver of many age-related health issues, especially those affecting our blood vessels. Think of it as a constant low simmer of irritation inside your arteries. The ALA in walnuts helps turn down that simmer. But their benefits don't stop there. Walnuts also help improve the function of our endothelium. The endothelium is the delicate, single-cell thick lining of all our blood vessels. When we're young, it's smooth and flexible, allowing blood to flow without friction. Over time, it can become stiff and damaged. The unique combination of compounds in walnuts helps keep this vital lining healthy and pliable. It's the difference between pipes that are clean and flexible versus pipes that are rusty and clogged. But is there solid proof behind this? Absolutely. The PREDIMED study, a massive, long-term trial conducted in Spain, is one of the most highly respected nutrition studies ever performed. It found that a Mediterranean-style diet supplemented with nuts, with a strong emphasis on walnuts, was associated with a dramatic reduction in major cardiovascular events, like heart attack and stroke. Dozens of other studies have consistently linked regular walnut consumption to healthier cholesterol profiles, specifically by helping to lower LDL cholesterol, the bad type that contributes to arterial plaque.
Now, some of you are surely thinking, but what about the fat and calories? Aren't nuts fattening? This is where we must dismantle an even older myth, the idea that dietary fat is the enemy. We now know that the type of fat is far more important than the total amount. The healthy, unsaturated fats in walnuts are the building blocks of our cells and hormones. They are not the same as the damaged, inflammatory trans fats found in processed junk food. These are fats that protect your heart.
So, how can we make walnuts a practical daily habit? First, portion size. A sensible daily amount is about a quarter cup, which is roughly a small handful. This provides the therapeutic benefits without adding excessive calories. A great trick for this is to portion them out at the start of the week. Get 7 small reusable bags or containers and put 1 serving in each. Store them in the fridge, and your daily heart-healthy snack is ready to go. And storage is crucial. Because of their high content of delicate oils, walnuts can go rancid if left in a warm pantry, developing a sharp, bitter taste. The best place to keep them is in an airtight container in your refrigerator, or, for even longer-term storage, the freezer. This protects those beneficial oils. Getting them into your meals is simple. You can crush them and sprinkle them over a salad for a satisfying crunch. You can chop them and add them to your morning oatmeal right alongside those blueberries. Or you can simply enjoy them as a standalone afternoon snack. They are filling and can help prevent cravings for less healthy options. The action is clear. Look past the trendy, tiny seeds and embrace the proven power of the walnut. A simple, daily handful is one of the most impactful habits you can adopt for the long-term health of your heart. But our system isn't complete. We've covered the brain and the heart. Now we must address the fuel for the entire system, from our muscles to our eyes. And that means busting one more very green myth. Perhaps the most persistent superfood myth is that of the green powder. Spirulina, chlorella, wheatgrass. These are algae, grasses, and powdered leaves sold with bold claims of detoxifying the body and providing a blast of concentrated nutrition. The taste is often an issue, and the cost can be shocking. The promise is that you're getting the goodness of an entire vegetable garden in a single teaspoon. The problem? Our bodies are designed to extract nutrients from whole foods, not necessarily from dried, pulverized dust. And for a fraction of the cost, there is a far more effective and much tastier way to fuel your body on a cellular level. For this one, we're going to the crisper drawer. We are talking about spinach. Yes, humble, everyday spinach. The real magic isn't just about iron. It's about 2 incredible components that support your body's most fundamental operations. The first is dietary nitrates. Don't confuse these with the unhealthy nitrates used as preservatives in processed meats. When you eat spinach, your body converts these natural plant nitrates into a miracle molecule called nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a powerful vasodilator. That means it sends a signal to your blood vessels telling them to relax and widen. Think of your circulatory system as a vast network of highways. Nitric oxide is the traffic controller that instantly opens up more lanes, allowing blood to flow more freely and with less pressure. This has 2 profound effects. First, it directly supports healthy blood pressure. Second, it means more oxygen and more nutrients can be delivered to every single cell in your body, from your brain to the muscles you use on your daily walk. How significant is this? Studies have shown that diets rich in nitrate-containing vegetables like spinach can improve physical stamina, meaning your muscles require less oxygen to perform the same amount of work. It's like improving your body's fuel efficiency. But the power of spinach doesn't end there. It is also one of the world's best dietary sources of 2 specific antioxidants called lutein and zeaxanthin. These 2 compounds are special. They have a unique affinity for our eyes. They naturally accumulate in the macula, a tiny spot in the center of your retina responsible for sharp, clear, detailed vision. What do they do there? Think of lutein and zeaxanthin as your eye's own internal pair of sunglasses. They help filter out damaging high-energy blue light from the sun and our ever-present screens. They also neutralize oxidative stress that can damage the delicate cells of the retina over time. This protective shield is absolutely critical. A massive body of research has linked higher dietary intake of lutein and zeaxanthin with a significantly lower risk of developing age-related macular degeneration and cataracts, two of the leading causes of vision loss in older adults. So while expensive green powders offer vague promises, spinach delivers specific, measurable support to your vascular system and your precious eyesight. Let's make this incredibly practical. One of the best qualities of spinach is its versatility. A common question is whether to eat it raw or cooked. The answer is both. Some nutrients are more available in raw spinach, making it a perfect base for a salad. On the other hand, the cooking process gently breaks down cell walls, which can make other nutrients, like lutein, easier for your body to absorb. So a little of both is the ideal strategy. But what is the easiest way to get a huge dose of it into your diet? My favorite technique is the wilted handful. Take a giant handful, or even two, of fresh spinach. It looks like an impossibly large amount. But if you add it to any hot soup, stew, pasta sauce, or even a pan of scrambled eggs right at the very end of cooking, it will wilt down to almost nothing in less than 60 seconds. You've just supercharged your meal with potent nutrients, with minimal effort and almost no change in taste or texture. When buying it, prioritize convenience. The large clamshells of pre-washed baby spinach are a fantastic tool. For many of us, that convenience removes the biggest barrier to actually eating it. The action is simple. Skip the grassy-tasting, expensive powder. Instead, make it a goal to add a handful of spinach to at least one of your meals each day. You'll be fueling your body from your blood vessels to your eyeballs with real, effective food. So, there it is, the real list. Blueberries for the brain, walnuts for the heart, and spinach for the entire system. 3 simple, affordable, and scientifically validated foods that, when eaten consistently, can have a profound impact on how you feel and function. We've closed the loop. We've shown that you do not need to buy into the lie that health has to be expensive or exotic. Real, lasting health is built on a foundation of simple habits with whole foods. But I know that even with the best information, real-life obstacles can get in the way. So let's take a few minutes to address some common concerns that might stop you from getting started. A frequent and very important question I hear is, I'm on a blood thinner like warfarin. My doctor told me to avoid leafy greens because of the vitamin K. This highlights why one-size-fits-all advice is never enough. The key with vitamin K and these medications is often not total avoidance, but consistency. The dose of the medication is usually calibrated to your normal diet. Problems can arise when your intake of vitamin K fluctuates wildly, eating a huge spinach salad one day and none for the rest of the week. A sensible approach is often to maintain a consistent, moderate intake. But the most important thing I can say is this. Always speak with your doctor or a registered dietitian before making any significant dietary changes when you are on medication. They understand your specific health profile and can give you advice that is safe and tailored for you. This is the most critical step. Another common challenge, especially as we get older, can be dental health. Walnuts and other nuts are just too hard for me to chew. This is a perfectly valid issue, but it doesn't mean you have to miss out on the benefits. Remember, the nutrients are in the food, not in the form. If whole nuts are a problem, try crushed or chopped walnuts. You can buy them this way, or simply put them in a sturdy bag and gently tap them with a rolling pin. They are perfect for sprinkling on yogurt or oatmeal, providing all the benefits without the hard crunch. An even better option might be walnut butter. Just be sure to read the label carefully. You want a brand that contains only walnuts, maybe with a little salt, and no added sugars or hydrogenated oils. You can spread it on a slice of whole grain toast or an apple for a fantastic, heart-healthy snack. Finally, some people find that berries can be a bit tart, or that the sudden increase in fiber causes some minor digestive upset. If this sounds like you, the solution is simple. Start slow. You do not have to jump to a full cup of blueberries on day 1. Begin with just a small handful, perhaps a quarter of a cup. And always try to eat them with other food, not on an empty stomach. Mixing them into oatmeal or yogurt helps buffer the acidity and makes them much gentler on your system. In most cases, your digestive system will adapt beautifully over a week or two as it gets accustomed to the healthy increase in fiber. The goal is to build a sustainable, long life habit, not to force something that causes you discomfort. The most practical plan is to see these 3 foods as your new daily foundation. Think of your next grocery list. It doesn't need a complete overhaul. Just add 3 items: a large bag of frozen blueberries, a bulk bag of raw walnuts to keep in the fridge, and a large container of pre-washed spinach. This is your longevity starter kit. From this simple base, building healthy meals becomes almost automatic. A breakfast of oatmeal with those blueberries and walnuts. A lunch built around a large spinach salad. An afternoon snack, a handful of walnuts. You're hitting all your targets without stress or overthinking. The greatest power you have is not in a bottle or a pouch. It's in the simple, repeated action of a daily habit. We've spent this time together breaking down the science and busting the myths. But information only becomes transformation when it's put into action. Please do not try to change everything at once. That is a recipe for failure. Instead, just pick one. Just one of these ideas to begin. Decide that for the next 7 days, you will simply add a handful of blueberries to your breakfast every single morning. That's it. Or make a commitment to swap your usual afternoon snack for a small handful of walnuts. Master that one small change. Feel the power and confidence that comes from that consistency. Then, when you're ready, add the next one. If this no-nonsense, evidence-based approach to your health is what you've been searching for, hit that subscribe button and the notification bell, because our work here is to empower you on this journey. Remember, your health isn't about a fleeting trend. It's about smart, consistent choices made one day at a time with real food. Your best years are not behind you. They're fueled by what you do today.